And a lot of times when you start me up, I'll never stop. You hear that? Start me up, I'll never stop.
Stanley, don't rub your face on that. I'll kill you.
I'll rub your face in it.
I'll rub your face in it.
I
I threatened to rub his face in piss today.
Do you have Call Andy Gay in your Drag the Lake notes?
No.
Welcome to a brand new episode of Drag the Lake. I am your host, Andy Malfrey. With me, as always, the great, beautiful, pinchable, cheek-worthy, love-making to acceptable Pat George.
Hi.
Sorry, I've been doing a lot of stuff today.
I'm
That
here.
didn't come out great. Pat George, everybody.
I'm here.
What did you call yourself? The fartist?
I'm the fartist.
No, what was
Duke
the thing?
of Dookie.
Well, the Duke of Dookie, Pat
Yeah.
George.
Fart Reaper.
Oh yeah,
Pickle Master.
in the fucking Discord. I didn't know who you were, and then you told me you were like getting in the panties Discord, and I saw a name, and I go, "That's Pat."
Yeah.
You might have the Baby Mermaid logo in there,
But
too.
also, it's Fart Reaper.
It's a fart reaper.
Because I reap farts. Biatch.
Reports.
But,
Don't mean to brag, but yes, this is Drag the Lake,
We
and
actually have music stuff to talk about. That's crazy.
we have important stuff to talk about. I got a couple things. You got a couple things. You were coming in pretty hot about your one thing, so I kind of want to let you get that steam off.
I got. I got.
All right, steam. That's you. That's you getting the steam out.
I got a sweet story and I got a sour story. Okay.
Okay.
Which one do you want? You want sour first? Because I'm hot blooded.
Let's get them locked in. Let's get hot.
One of my all time favorites. Pretty much most of my all time records for sure. Shape of Punk to Come. Yeah. But the band Refused is somebody most of my youth. I was in love with the fact that this band would just make this perfect album after they decide to break up.
Shape of Punk becomes a perfect album.
It's
to you.
perfect.
That's
it's just
awesome.
so fucking great, and I just love this.
Do you have a lot of those?
Shape of Punk Comes.
Yeah. How many Shape of Punk Comes
Actually,
have you
do
bought?
have two different. I have the deluxe, and I also have the.
No, because I was seeing I don't want this to turn into
Yeah,
a
there's a couple, yeah.
big sidestep, but I saw people talking about perfect albums, and it's like I got a couple. I don't know if I have a lot, but I have enough that I go
Yeah.
Like I would say Roger Died Trying by 4 Year Strong, Grey Britain by Gallows. I'd have to think about it a little bit longer,
Waking the Fallen's pretty great by Avenged Sevenfold.
This one's purely based off of when I found it. It was one of the first punk/pop punk albums, but Nimrod by Green Day is perfect to me because I found that in 8th grade. It blew my mind.
I think this is for sure. This is probably one of the first I ever experienced was this album, and they had released recently. I think it's the 20th or maybe 30th anniversary. I can't remember actually what the actual. It's called The Shape of Punk to Come Obliterated. Is what it. And honestly, very fitting name.
I knew you were gonna say that,
Dude. There is. I don't understand. So I think the motivation behind this. It doesn't actually say what the actual
the year.
Yeah, it was 98. I think is when it came out. 97 or 98.
Oh, okay.
So whatever that actually adds.
Wait,
up
I'll
to.
look it up. You talk.
25th. Okay, so they are basically the Refused also announced the fact that they're having their final tour. They're going to be this is officially it. They're going to be calling it quits. Dennis, the lead singer, had a heart attack last year. So that's playing a fact into it. They have a lot of other projects. They kind of all to a sense moved on a bit from Refused and were doing other things anyway.
Yeah.
But just kind of came back as because why not? They
probably had.
It's how we talk about Operation Ivy and a lot of other bands.
The
They're
opposite
we need
of
to do
Operation
this.
Ivy.
Well, we need to do this while we're alive. So I do appreciate them coming back. They put out a couple releases. Not great. No, they're okay.
Yeah.
But I love them, and I always give myself the benefit of saying well, maybe Refused knows. I trust them because they put this album out.
Yeah.
And how many bands did this influence?
Yeah.
Right. So
that is one of those albums. There's a lot of albums out there that are a huge influence on bands. Dookie or like Cheshire Cat Dude Ranch would be more of a influence, or and like bands like Blink-182 and Green Day, and they really got fucking huge off that. But then there's always those bands that you go, everybody listened to this fucking album, and it just for whatever reason didn't correlate to like mass success. But yeah, Shape of Punk to Come is always one you hear come up that like really influenced a lot of bands nowadays.
So they're coming out with this. They're going to be doing their final like tour. They put out this Obliterated, which is bands covering the songs from Shape of Punk to Come. And I know I don't know every single band in the world by any means. I don't know a lot of these bands.
A lot of them are really good bands.
I don't really listen to, I don't think, any of them.
But
some of the bands on here. Andy,
Gel, Quicksand, I know them. Idols rules, Fucked Up rules. Zulu's pretty good. And Touche Amore rule.
Did you say Snapcase?
I've heard. I was just going over the ones I knew.
Okay, that's
to know that they're good.
So there's, like, I don't know, man. Like,
you were kind of listening. I think the point you made is you were listening to it to be like, I don't know if you listen to this band.
It does not seem like multiple bands on this are familiar with the album, and then other ones, it's like. So I don't know who picked the bands.
Yeah.
I don't know if they obviously Refused probably gave their okay. I would assume. I don't. You know what I mean? Like I would assume that this was like signed off. By
I would guess Refused picked all the bands.
And I'm looking at this and I'm like, you know what? I think Refused had it and lost it, because like these are terrible covers.
So
almost every one of them is very disappointing, if not incredibly confusing.
So let me ask you this:
Brutus's cover of The Deadly Rhythm is
well,
like I you know how like when people get mad about like politics,
yeah,
or they get mad about like their team, they're like, I can't believe the fucking coach did that. Like I've never gotten that heated.
Yeah.
This is where I'm like, it's like you're trolling. It's
but
like
here,
Stanley's coming here to a fucking comfort.
I gotta ask you this real quick, because I have not listened to this, so I need context to like your headspace on your criteria of cover song.
I wish I could play it back.
Here, wait, chill. So yeah, because I listened to Touche Amore and a little bit of the Idols remix, which we could talk. I had my opinions about remix. We could talk about that. But so like, I'm curious about your criteria for a good cover song, because mine personally is. It should be like 50-50.
Yeah.
Give me 50% that makes me really, really remind me of the original, and then give me 50% that's your genuine take on it. Would you say you have a similar criteria for a good cover song?
Yeah, I would say it should be 60-40 at least.
60 original, 40 new?
Cut it either way. Honestly, if you want to take over, like if you want to change the tempo of a song, that you're taking over a lot, because you're going to change the feel of it.
But it's been done.
But there's been so many stripped down versions of songs where they're like, what if we take this pop song and we make it fucking emo and lame and slow, where they're just like, everybody's working.
Yeah, the thing they did for all the thing that they did for all the fucking movie trailers.
One piano key hitting, and like they don't have anything else going on, but they just go, everybody's working.
Yeah. What the fuck was it? It was like the Batman movie did it, and then everyone was like, oh, this is a way you can make like a easy trailer song.
And it's just so you make you take the song and you change it. I may not love those covers of a song, but at least there's something that is like the original song.
Okay, so we got your criteria.
Yeah.
Now I'm very curious specifically, like, now break it down for me. What was it about these songs that really bugged you?
Like, there's not a lot of time. You know how, like, even in a bad cover, there is going to be a part where you're like, oh, this is that song? Right?
That, to me, is a bad cover song.
Right. Well, you're like, yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, so, like, there's one of, like, The Deadly Rhythm is one of the most iconic songs, in my opinion, from Refused, because it has the exact element of what this album was. The energy of the album, the cuts. Really what they did was either a band just took out the interstitial stuff, like, you know, the like for a Liberation Frequency, you can hear like a radio tuning in and out, and then the song plays like you're catching it on a radio. Like it's the reason that album is what it is because it's a complete album. When you have 10, I can't remember exactly how many original bands, because one of them they doubled up, so it was like 11 bands probably, like all with their own idea of what this is. Not a coverable band, obviously. Now we realize this. They're an influential band, but they are not. You cannot mimic them. Every single time I would try to make a radio station on Pandora for Refused, when that was a thing. It was like at the drive-in, and I'm like, no, it's not that. Refused are their own thing. They have their own fucking vibe. They have their own style. They are irreplaceable in that sense. But like them or not, that's what I'm saying. Is like there is not a lot.
They're very unique.
Very unique in that sense. So like when you take away the source of the interstitials of the theme of the album and the connectivity of the songs, you make certain songs and you change them so much that they are completely unrecognizable.
You know what this sounds like?
What?
It sounds like these bands. It was sort of symbolically they tried to make meatballs and they forgot to put in breadcrumbs and egg.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it sounds like based off what you're saying.
Yeah, they just, it's like, this is, there's certain times where I'm just like, if they played this live, I'd probably freak out. Like if they were like, hey, what about this one? And they start playing the song and be like, I know that song. Like, you play the riff. You play the fucking, it's in the same time signature. You play parts of it.
Got to give us something from the original.
Something.
Yeah.
And at the end of it, where you're like, no. You don't just throw this part on at the end and go, there it is.
What's that? What's that example? What do
Deadly Rhythm.
What they do?
At the end of it, they put this very recognizable dun, 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 dun.
Okay.
Like, that's the thing. And we're like, this doesn't even go with your song. So, like, you even putting this in with what you were doing, none of this ties together. And I will say, Brutus, you should be fucking ashamed of yourself.
Oh, my God.
I'm not fucking joking. Like, I don't know who the fuck you are, but that was awful. And if if you signed off on this, bro.
They definitely signed off on it.
Then... Guys,
there's no way they didn't sign off on it.
I think you're right. I think Refused are fucking dead. Like it is over because that you lost touch. It is not. And if this is the shape of punk to come, holy fuck.
Ooh.
This is terrible.
I like how you tied that in.
This is terrible. What they've done, and not all over. Cumulative. You know what I mean? Like it sounds like a less what is it? I can't think, like a less connected cover or less emotional.
Yeah.
There's no passion in what they're doing. I can't tell that any of you love this band.
Huh.
I can't tell it feels so disconnected. I heard Evergreen Terrace cover fucking Foo Fighters better than this. And I don't mean that to say like that's not an insult. I'm saying like if you can get a band to play Everlong's a great song, right? But you can fuck it up.
Yeah.
Right?
So you're saying there's like no heart in these songs?
No heart. There's no heart. And I'm sorry to say this. Idols is another one of those songs where I'm like, what did you just guys did you do this on your fucking computer?
That's what I wanted
somewhere?
to.
Like, what is this?
I'm glad you brought that one up because I'll be like I
so
said,
uninspired.
Like I said, this is because you sent this to me this morning. I didn't realize it was coming out. I was streaming this morning.
I was fuming in Walmart today. Fuming, walking through trudging, going, "What the fuck is this shit?" Looking at work shoes, going, this looks comfortable. I'll try this one. What the fuck is this song?
Every shoe didn't fit.
Nothing.
You were that mad.
I had a rock in my shoe all day.
So I didn't really get to listen to it because
don't bother.
Pat, you've made your opinion clear. Let me talk now.
Stop feeling, Andy. I can't stop feeling.
No, so I was streaming this morning and you texted me and I was like, oh cool, that came out. I'll try to check it out if I can. And then on the way down here, I realized Counterparts put out a surprise EP. So I was listening to that mainly and I go, wait a minute, let me listen to some of this Shape of Punk to Come shit. I listened to the Touche Amore one because that was like my favorite band on this.
Yeah.
That sounded cool. I don't know what the original. Well, I did check out the
Oh
original.
yeah, they.
I thought that was a really. I thought that was a really interesting direction. Like
they sang the lyrics.
Yeah, they sang the lyrics and they took it to like a very creative way.
Yeah.
And then I listened to the Idols one. That was the only other one I listened to. And I got through like most of it before I was just kind of like
You felt no anticipation.
I got through most of it before I was just kind of like, yo, I don't think we need to do remixes of rock songs.
Right.
Like, we talked about it before we started recording. Like, you know what fucking Limp Bizkit did where they did fucking Black Hawk Down Air Raid version or whatever the fuck, and they got Method Man and Redman to rap over it? Yeah, do a remix like that. Do a remix of a rap song to add a couple extra verses. Shit like that. But this fucking thing where you take a rock song and then
the song for
you
me?
just put over top of it electronic shit, which Idols has never been an electronic band.
And which Refused did in the original. Like that's where they and you took out all of the build up to New Noise is one of I'm talking about
One of the most
songs.
identifiable songs.
Right, and you take out all of the recognizable parts and you just go like, but like you're starting by asking if you can scream. Come on. We all know you can. But like, why don't you let us know? Let's feel it. Let's get to that point. It just feels.
Yeah.
It felt like what?
Yeah.
You're just playing me the song.
Yeah.
You're playing me that song.
Generally speaking, I'm starting to realize like you don't like. I know Enter Shikari does it every fucking album, and they're an amazing band.
Yeah.
But they always do that to just like do the fucking. They do the fucking so they can put out a deluxe version, and then they just get a bunch of their DJ friends to take the song, and then they put a shitload of compression over it. Yeah. And then the only thing that reminds you of the original song is the fact that they put in the actual lyrics at some point. And you're like, dude, I don't think we need to do electronic remixes of rock songs ever again.
If you listen to the reason Shape of Punk to Come is a perfect album is you can play that album start to finish without missing it. Like it'll keep you guessing. Like it's very dynamic, and very alive album. Since the 90s, it still absolutely holds up. And like I mean, listening to it holds up. It is like a classic movie where you're like, I'm not even saying for a movie. Like you know how you go, oh, it's good for
a movie in the 70s.
Yeah, 70s come out, the special effects or whatever. Like no, there's no fucking asterisks for this album, and you can listen to it start to finish, or you can pick any one of those songs out, and you'll go like, God damn.
That's actually a thing I really like too, because that's my biggest complaint about Kendrick Lamar albums.
You have to have like you have to watch the prequel.
Well, I should. Well, yeah, not even that, but like Good Kid, Mad City, and To Pimp a Butterfly.
Yeah,
people always act like. I'll just say this real quick. People always act like To Pimp a Butterfly has low listenability, and I go, no. There's a lot of great shit, but the problem with Kendrick is he always puts extra shit on the beginning and the end that is very fun the first time you listen to it. All the in Good Kid, Mad City, the voicemails, all that shit, very fun the first time you listen to it, but then you throw on, you put on your mix. And you play, what's the Yak Yak Yak, that song, Mad City, whatever. You're in your car, you say the word, you have fun, and then you're just kind of chilling, and you're like, why am I just listening to the song's not over? Let me skip it. That's the problem with it. Has listenability. It's just there's a lot of shit on the beginning and end of his fucking songs.
Refused does that too. Like it does have that where it's playing like.
That's when I'm pro interlude. That's when I'm make that extra shit a fucking interlude.
You're right. Yeah, that's a good point because but I'm saying like in general like the song was so good. The song was still so good that you're like you'll like listen to weird like Czech radio for a little bit, coming in and out, and then it'll go into the next one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the first song is kind of like an intro song. You have all these things, and they don't do that live. You know what I mean? You can enjoy this.
I respect the fuck out of that.
So like that, it's one of those things where like, yes, they're building a fucking. And honestly, if this was their magnum opus, their last album, that's what they truly thought it was going to be. Yeah, take your time, do whatever the fuck you want.
That's a good point.
But like it's earned with them. like with these other bands, I'm not saying Snapcase. I'm not saying that any of these bands are bad bands.
They're all very
all
good
did a
bands.
very bad job on this album. And that's what I'm saying. It's like I don't want to criticize it, but like in that sense, but I'm telling you, I don't know what you listened to. There was some of them that I had to like double check. I'm like, is that the lyric? Because like there's certain things where you're like, all right, obviously in the passion of it, but look, don't. Perfect example. Hyena by Rancid. The line is, Hyena, fight for the lion share. Right? But it's, fight for the lion share.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's like every Green Day song, too.
All of them are going, fight for the lion share. Like, fight for the lion share. You know what I mean? Like it's like they're reading it and they're not feeling it.
It's like it's like if you did a cover of "I Miss You" and you're like,
I miss you.
Don't waste your time. You're already the voice inside of my head.
Inside of my
head. You're like, no. It's yet.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
The word might be head.
It's my yet.
The lyric is yet.
My yet.
My yet.
That's what it is.
That's such a good fucking point.
And each one of them are just it's like they're, and that's why I say, like, it doesn't seem like any of you guys have ever heard this fucking album. So I will say, back to the drawing board. See you in another 30 years. It's been real. Like, man, oh man.
Back to the drawing board.
It was released today. I wish it was withdrawn today. And if you bought it on vinyl, I'm very sorry that you did that. Don't open it.
Oh my god, that's so fucking.
Don't open it.
So yeah, I'm actually really intrigued to check it out because like I trust. It's like I trust you, but this is such a bold claim.
I waited for, but see, that's what I'm saying is, if you're not familiar, like, play them back to back.
Yeah.
Play them back. I beg you to play them back.
You know what's the strongest argument? Like the biggest thing that's making me believe you is the gestation. I go, Pat never does this. He must be.
I waited for this album, Andy. I waited. I saw it. It was coming out. I was like, oh, November 8th. I actually like saw the date today. I was like, oh, it's out. I texted you. I texted Dom, and I was just like, don't listen to it.
You texted to me. I looked out. It says unsent.
I wish I still could. I would do it right now. Save your time. Buy the vinyl. Yeah. Sure, it'll be a collector's edition. Maybe if this doesn't ruin them. Like, go see Refuse live. Honestly, go see them live. They fucking rule.
Yeah.
They still have every bit of performance standard that they did, I think, probably their entire career. And they are true artists, and they are true professionals. And that's why I go, what the fuck is this?
No, I get that.
That's why I'm upset. I'm just upset. I'm so mad at one of my
I get it.
My hero bands.
Like what the fuck was it? The last two Green Day albums.
I want to be like, you like this? I want to go up to them and go like, you like this?
You approve this?
You fucking like this shit? Like, I really want to just be like, why?
Yeah, I'd be very curious about the process. Whether it was like Refused hit up a bunch of bands. They didn't know if the bands liked Refused or not.
I would be honored. If they asked me to cover these songs, I'd be like, yeah, I'll do it. And I'll figure it out later. So I'm sure maybe that's it. Like, they call them. They're like, hey, Snapcase, you want to do it? You want to ruin one of our songs? They're like, yeah, which one?
They're like, yeah, we'd love to.
Who is Refused? This guy's refusing something? What?
I think he's trying to return an album.
Oh my god, I got a headache now.
No, it's okay.
They gave me a headache. I'm gonna sue you.
You're gonna sue him for damages,
emotional and physical distress. I'm gonna have a miscarriage because of you.
Fingers crossed.
God's abortion.
So yes. So
I do have a suite though, so I'll save my suite.
So check out Refused.
You were a part of my suite.
Yeah,
you were my sweet boy with me. We experienced this together.
I'm a sweet boy.
Flagman.
Oh, we should talk about that. I did want to remind people again. New Counterparts album came out. Yeah. I listened to a little bit of it.
I didn't know that. I'm happy for that.
It fucking rips. I saw a really funny thing. Their lead singer is very active on Twitter, and his other band is called End. And I saw, but he's like, a lot of people keeps telling me the vocals sound like End, and I forget exactly the joke he made, but it was essentially amounted to, he's like, I'm also the lead singer of that band. And I know what he means. He had, like, they put effects on his voice a little bit more in End to make it kind of, like, muddier and shit. And Counterparts, the vocals are a lot cleaner in a more, like, metalcore sense.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's like, it's the same guy. So the bands are going to sound real similar. But I listened to a little bit on the way down here, and it fucking rips. I've been meaning to listen to Counterparts
also,
a lot more recently.
Heavy Hitter put out something new.
Heavy Hitter put out some shit.
Moments of Misery. I haven't listened to that. Download that right now.
Yeah, but let's talk about Flagman, because I had a really this was special. I haven't had an experience listening to a band like this in a while.
Like a very pleasant surprise.
Which went from it for me. It started off as like, oh, Pat wants to talk about this band. I'll check him out, so I just know what he's talking about. To the album's over already.
Yeah.
And I was like having a fucking blast, because you actually started out with, you're like, this band's kind of like Primus, and that's why I was kind of like, oh, okay. Like, I'm like Primus is cool and talented, but like they don't do it for me. So when you told me like it sounded like Primus, I was like, all right, I'll listen to this so I have something to respond to Pat.
The official review was, quote, they are bad trip Primus.
Oh yeah,
like if you're having a bad trip and you're listening. Not
called
like,
him,
hey, I'm on a goofy cheese wheel. It's not like that.
Well, you called him Primus. And then, but the bad trip element comes into play. I'm listening to him. I go, this sounds like the Blood Brothers.
Yeah.
And then I get later into it. I go, this sounds like Heavy Lolo. But it's like Primus at the same time. I go, wait, what? Because I'm a big fan of the new Refused album. Go get it. No, I'm a big...
Triggered.
I did not...
I spent 26 minutes talking about it. God damn.
Yeah. You went.
I fucking black out. I looked over at your thing. I was like, holy shit, it's been 26 minutes. I must have just woken up.
You look at me, you're like, who is he? No, so, like, wait, what? I forgot what I was
Flagman.
Flagman. It sounded like
Heavy
fucking. I'm like, this.
I'm glad you said that, by the way, because you said Blood Brothers. I was like, yeah, but I'm getting a lot of Heavy Lolo.
Yeah, it was late. Beginning of the album had hints of Blood Brothers, and then the more I listened to it, I was like, no, I think it's more Heavy Lolo.
Yeah.
And I'm a big fan. I hear it a lot in like the modern metalcore and hardcore bands. A lot of the modern metalcore and hardcore bands take a lot of elements of like my high school music listening experience, and they combined them all. They throw in hardcore, screamo, metalcore, emo, and they just figure out a cool way to mix it up. So I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of mixing. Any type of mixing. Musical, race, whatever it is. I want mixing.
I just like the music. But also Tex-Mex.
Florida.
So the last band to do that for me was Mutoid Man.
What did they mix for you?
I was like, this reminds me of Gwar. This reminds me of Fall of Troy. This reminds me of fucking a Protest the Hero. This reminds me of like it just reminds me of all of my favorite bands of my entire lifetime.
Yeah,
where I'm just like, I think they just remind me of Mutoid Man. Like they're just like, that's what I'm saying. Like
Flagman reminds you of Mutoid Man.
In that sense of like they're giving me so many different aspects that I really enjoy, where it's like it's kind of like Animals as Leaders, it's kind of like Primus, it's kind of like Heavy Lolo, it's kind of like Blood Brothers, it's kind of like, but I think ultimately that just means they're ones that are taking inspiration from other bands and doing something with it.
We already spent 26, Pat.
If this is a clip, go check out the Refused review. It's 26 minutes long.
I was thinking too, because the past 2 or 3 episodes, you've done album reviews basically, and I was like, ooh, that'd be an easy way for extra content. Get a little album review ski in.
But I'm just too emotional earlier.
No, it's fine. That makes good content. And then don't worry,
it can't just be me trashing it.
You'll watch back though. You watch back the video, and it's just me in the corner being like, "This fucking guy." I don't think that. I like.
Refused actually loved it.
Refuse rules.
You can come on the podcast, but I won't have him on.
No, well, I think also too the passion, because I've been there before. I think the passion is in you being like a true fan.
Yeah.
Where you're like, what the fucking shit is this? Like I was just talking about that with I was talking about that on stream. It's why Charlemagne the God annoys the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
Because I got into podcasting because I one of the big reasons I love podcasting and just talking into microphones is like Opie and Anthony. That's why Anthony, showing his true colors was annoying. But then also too, I would listen to Rogan all the time, and I'd watch Charlemagne clips all the time, and I just love the whole fucking. This is, let me tell you how I feel about this current fucking thing that happened. And I was like, that's so cool that they get to be those guys. And then you see Charlemagne now, and he's like, when it comes to political shit, he's just being like a propagandist for like the fucking Democratic Party, and he's just like the equivalent of what's the shitty magazines called? The tabloid. He's like a tabloid rag as a fucking.
He's like Wendy Williams.
Yeah, dude.
Unfortunately,
he learned from Wendy Williams.
Yeah.
He's like a worse Wendy Williams now. And whenever I see a clip from him, I get fucking angry because I go, bro, you got me into this shit, and now you're like the biggest fucking disappointment. So I get where you're coming from. You feel let down.
But yeah, so but Flagman was like the exact opposite. You could tell when I love hard. I love Flagman.
Yeah,
that was like one of those things where it's the Step Brothers meme of like.
That's why your wife don't walk right. You love hard.
Ow! I'm holding my mic. They can hear it. No, it's like the same idea of like. It's harder. You can push me over.
Just shoot you in the head. You didn't laugh at my joke.
That would get us taken down. No, that's my only objection. We don't want to lose viewers.
Andy, to be fair, I do want to die.
But Flagman was like it was kind of like I think because I also have a hard time gauging of like what's a popular, like am I late to the party? Am I early to the party or whatever? Like, it doesn't matter.
Am I at the wrong party?
Am I at the fucking occultist party? Check out No More Heroes this week. But either way, like, I'm like, oh, we never picked a thing for the next show.
Oh, yeah.
But we will later.
We will.
But I think overall, when I find a new band that like is so new and fresh and like has like cool combinations that you wouldn't think would like, not that you wouldn't think would mix, but you just never thought of mixing or nobody has mixed before. Like,
and they're not like brand new.
No,
but
I don't think so.
Actually, I mean, first album was in 2020, so it's safe to assume they've been around.
I believe they're from Orlando, Florida.
Yeah, and so first album drops 2020. That's safe to assume they've been around 2018, 2019.
Yeah.
So they're not brand new, but also they are a slight buy early. They got 30,000 monthly listeners on Spotify. Yeah. But I think also, too, what you're getting at is like, it's not just they're a new band. They have a very fresh sound in general. Like, you can obviously compare them to Primus, but that doesn't do it justice. They're clearly inspired by Primus.
Yeah.
But they're a much fresher take.
Yeah, the clip the thing that I discovered them through was Instagram, much like Mutoid Man. Like a reel of this music video from a clip from one of their songs. And I think it's even like their number 2 on Spotify. I don't even think it's their number 1. But it was this clip, and it's like, but it's like them and this like trippy visuals. The one of the dude's wearing a fucking cowboy hat. It's got weird slap bass and shit. Like, obviously the parallels can be drawn. I'm not saying that they're ripping off Primus by any means. But
very clear inspiration.
Very clear inspiration, but they fucking took it and ran with it.
Well, you know what I like about them as opposed why I'm like, these guys are better than Primus, and I know
way better than Primus.
I know
that's my point. Yeah.
And I know to a lot of people that feels like a bold statement, but they are better than Primus. And you know what there's a lot of elements, but one of the big elements, Primus was good, but I was always like, Primus is Les Claypool. Yeah. Because like when you listen to Primus, the drums will always just be like, and the guitar's usually like,
yeah.
A little more.
I gotta tell you, no. The point I was gonna make. The point I was gonna make. You're making my point for me. In a way, is like, you know what Primus loves to do? Primus fucking loves to waste your fucking time. And that's it. and then he goes, yeah, but here comes the bass.
And you're like, I mean, it's, oh, and then
Can we get to the chorus, please?
you know what?
This is the chorus.
But let's be
Wacky smacky dacky.
Let's be fair though. The vocals will sound kind of cool, right?
I'm gonna talk.
Hey guys, I'm singing like this.
I sing like this.
And I'm gonna do.
like this.
I'm gonna make boomer jokes about pussy. Betty's got a big fat beaver.
Is he talking about pussy? Oh my God, Andy! I just got that.
I don't know if you know this
I
nephew.
just got that.
This uncle's talking to their nephews, telling them real music. I don't know if you know this nephew. Beaver means pussy. Beaver means pussy.
Oh my God!
Your neighbors hate us. That might
Those
be
guys listening to Primus for the first time up there.
They call your fucking at the front desk.
We've had another Primus complaint, sir.
Like, yeah, we got some guys primusing pretty hard.
We're finding a bunch of deflated balloons. You're gonna have to stop. No, I think I think honestly, it's
Primus fucking sucks.
yeah. Honestly, nothing.
No, I
has
like
proven-
Primus.
No,
They're just super overrated.
I loved Primus. They served their purpose.
Yeah,
they
they're
had their time.
They're super overrated.
And you're gonna go back in there, and I love what they've inspired. They've had a bunch of people talking about silly
Flagman.
shit. Yeah, yeah. Like they're making things. They're making.
Sorry, I'm still laughing at like, get this youngin. Beaver means pussy.
She got a big old beaver.
And you got to know about. Well, you need to know about that, nephew. Is beaver means pussy.
And now we're sailing on a sea of cheese. Wackety schmacky pookie, bookie dookie. Yeah, we get it. Flagman, take us to hell. You know what I'm saying? We're tired of this fucking bullshit. Like we all know. What's the real one?
I gotta be honest. Flagman has to start their next album with that.
Yeah.
Just that audio of you going, Flagman, take us to hell. Dude, that would go so fucking hard.
Guys, if you need a clearer version, I'm happy to cut it for you. Because we're tagging you in this because we're like becoming bigger fans, and I'm sorry if we may be insulting the fuck out of them. They're like, I fucking love Primus.
Oh, they 100% love Primus.
But you know what we're talking about. Don't act like you don't know.
No.
And this is all pointed towards them. You guys are doing it right, because I feel like if you have
It's so creative.
it's like I said, they're not wasting our time. They're still doing interlude goofy stuff. They're doing the fun wacky House of Mirrors shit. You know what I mean? But like they're not doing it to like I don't know how to say it. Like it's almost like I know Primus is probably comes off as like self-deprecating, but they're also like trillionaires, right?
No, Primus is like
Are they millionaires? Right?
Yeah, Primus is definitely
Just from the
millionaires.
South Park song.
No, Primus, yeah, right. Primus to me comes off as like their level of being edgy is like, you know, they got dildos in the back of what's the store at the mall?
Oh, Spencer's.
Yeah, they got dildos in the back of Spencer's, and also if you go into Spencer's, they got like a fucking mug with brass knuckles on it. Like it's pretty shit, and you know they got a bunch of shirts with weed on them.
Next time I go there to get my incense, I'm gonna get that with my Primus trucker.
Like Flagman feels like you go to the GameStop and the guy brings you in the back and sells you heroin.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Primus just feels like you bought candy panties at a fucking Spencer's. I don't know why I can't
Stop
remember.
making me say it.
I don't know why I can't remember Spencer's.
Say Hot Topic. Let's get. Ugh. No, I think it's like a thing of they have the ability to take that inspiration but make it their own thing. All those inspirations that like again once you reach like 4 or 5 different bands that you're like this kind of reminds me of, you're like no, it just reminds me of Flagman. Like they're doing it right. Like that means like when you can kind of like, and it's not a cover band, when you can evoke those different feelings, I feel like.
Well, and it also too reminds me of a similar thing that you said with Refused is when What?
Don't bring them up again.
I'm still the wound is still raw. No, but the thing with Refuse is I think now you've listened to way more Refuse than me. I'm not as familiar with them, but I think you were accurate on saying if you made like Refuse Radio on Spotify, it'd be a bunch of bands that you would also like.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't go they
Refuse.
sound like Refuse.
No.
Enter Shikari is a band like that for me.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of bands, if you like Enter Shikari, you'll like this band. But then there's no other band that really sounds like that.
Right.
And now, obviously, there's Primus that sounds like Flagman. But if we're being perfectly honest, outside of Primus, you can't really find a band that sounds like these guys.
Yeah, and that's the enjoyable part. It's like that they're able to take that mantle of like the and the fact that they're a 3-piece.
Wait,
and
isn't Flagman a conspiracy thing?
Is it?
I don't.
I thought it was like had to do with construction.
It's just the guy that they
The guy
pay
that
to
turns
like.
the sign around, right?
That's
They say
really
Flagman
funny.
ahead.
Well, I mean, Google's saying it's a man who gives a signal with a flag.
Fuck you, Google, you passive aggressive fuck. What the fuck? I don't know a man who's holding a flag, Andy. I don't have time for this.
Merriam-Webster.
Somebody just
a
asked me
person-
directions to PetSmart. I'm busy right now.
Yeah, it might just be the guy who
Very
holds.
dismissive of you, Google.
It might just be the guy who holds the flag.
Well, I guess maybe I'm not as much of a retard as I thought I was.
Oh no, here's the definition: a really good band from Florida.
Ah, there it is. We rewriting a book.
But yeah, I haven't. There's a lot, especially too with all the music I listen to. Give a self plug. By the way, I'm sorry if I've been trying to figure out a great groove for this channel on YouTube, and I do think there were some times where I was overloading you guys with content. I'm trying to figure out a good ebb and flow that doesn't feel like I'm overloading you. So, but I am still on every Monday letting you guys know what like the good music that just dropped, and like listening to a lot of that. I'm trying to find good shit that I know other people will like, but it doesn't necessarily mean like I'm gonna fucking lock in on that. It's enough for me to go, that's really good, but it's not gonna be like, oh fuck for me. Flagman was like that, and that was really enjoyable, and I haven't in a while had that where I heard a song and I was immediately like, oh, this is me. Like what this is there's a part of me in this music. That's why I'm so fucking locked in.
I got recently obsessed with Bill Murray, the reissue of the album where he added a couple of the
420cc.
I got that one.
Yeah.
And
Did you buy that on iTunes?
I did.
You're so weird. Why are you buying music on iTunes? You're not even buying physicals of it. You're just buying it on iTunes.
It's gone if we have no power, but
Yeah, it's the same thing, but you pay. It's literally Spotify. But
I just want to support. I'm just being supportive, okay? He's not going to be here on tour for a while, so I'm supporting my friend Bill.
Your friend Bill.
Yeah, Bill and Murray.
That's fair.
Bill and Murray. I think I was obsessing over that, but Flagman is another one that I've like really enjoyed, and in my recent realization of who gets my shirt buying vote.
Better Lovers.
No, Many Eyes.
Many Eyes?
Many Eyes is a band shirt that I will be buying.
Oh, yeah?
I finally, now that it's all out there, they've played shows, they've had full releases.
Oh, now they'll get your money for a shirt.
Now I'm going to buy a shirt, and it's going to be Many Eyes. I wanted
Yeah.
to reveal who I voted for. Many Eyes.
Oh, okay. I was making a joke about Better Lovers, but you actually are going for...
who do I want to see more? Better
Better
Lovers.
Lovers. I would go see
Who do I want to support more? Many Eyes.
Many Eyes.
I want to see, because I like where they're headed.
Songs to shirt ratio are top notch.
Also, I don't want to have fucking fire spit in my face.
I do want to hold the torch.
I
though.
don't-
I personally want to hold
You're
the...
such a fucking, because you are fire.
What?
Look at you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're
red.
You're probably some sort of chemical they put on to put out fire. You fucking stupid, retarded
Go ahead,
chemical.
finish.
You retardant.
ahead.
You fucking retardant.
You have the floor, Andy.
Yeah, you're a
Oh, damn it. You got the retardant. That's good.
you're a retardant.
That's a good one.
I said it 3 times before you responded
I didn't
to it,
get it,
though.
though.
That was crazy. Oh, you didn't get it. Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. I was like, when you responded, I was like, I said it 3 times.
Yeah. Oh, no, it fits. Damn it.
It makes sense, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm clever. I'm so fucking clever. I wanted to bring up something. We don't really have the means to show it, but I was so happy when I saw this. MVP of the week. in my book, goes out to Drain. They are the MVPs of the week. I think I sent you the video, but it's a pretty.
Oh yeah.
It's a pretty standard.
I thought it was the Halloween one. I was like, oh yeah, that was cute. He was Scooby Doo. That was pretty cool.
Oh no, because we're all about pit police, and I have been noticing something with hardcore getting more popular.
Yeah.
So you're getting a lot of these like
antics.
You're getting a lot of antics.
A lot of antics.
For the talk.
A lot of hot
and the
dogs.
gram. A lot of hot dogs. And they're not grilled, they're boiled.
All right.
I don't
Let's
like
not
that.
get into this.
No, the clearly worse version. But
Limp Biscuits on my side. I don't understand. Like,
hot dog flavor water?
it's delicious.
Oh, you think they put Wait. You think that water's delicious?
That's what's at the craft services. You never been backstage. That's what it is. He doesn't understand. What do you think I fill this with?
I've never
Told you I was trying to cut down coffee.
Okay, there's too many layers to this.
It's freaking hot water.
It's got caffeine in it?
No, there's no caffeine in here. You know, like sometimes you get hot water, you put a little lemon. I put it's hot dog water. It's in the name. It's hot water.
Wait. Oh, the same way you steep your tea?
I steep a wiener. Yeah.
You steep a wiener
On a string.
And you're just sitting there. You just
look. See,
because I mean that's wiener size, dude. You just stick a wiener in that every morning.
Yeah. If it's a smaller one, like if this is like a 32 or 30 ounce or whatever. If it's a 20 something, I'll put just a couple of Vienna
Dude, the
sausages.
reason I'm laughing so hard is I'm like, lived here for 3 months, so I know your energy when you're in the morning drinking your coffee, getting ready, and I'm picture you grumpy on the couch, just dipping a wiener, watching UFC, and I'm like, hey Pat, and you're just dipping a wiener, going like, eh. And I'm like, oh, he hasn't had his wiener water yet.
Wiener water.
Pat, people are like, don't talk to me before I had my coffee. Pat's like, dude, not talk to me before I had my wiener water. You're disgusting.
I just need to steep my weenies.
I just need to steep a ween. No, they were so hardcore is getting more. I've been seeing
Oh yeah,
Drain, whatever, MVPs.
Drain the hot dog water.
Drain did a Drain in their hot dog flavor water. Drain should cover hot dog flavor water. That'll be better than the
No more
freeze.
covers. I need a break.
So with hardcore getting more popular, you're getting more of the normies in there, the NPC behavior and shit like that.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of behavior people do because they go, that was cool on TikTok. What if we did that?
Yeah.
And if you're like,
it's a moment.
yeah, you're looking for the viral moment and shit like that. And I always said, I go, because hardcore kids will be like, they're going to ruin the shows. And I go, if you let them.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah. Let them do their rowboat.
We want this to be known. If you're a drag it out there, you're watching this show, you're a fan of this show, you're just watching this right now. We are deputizing you. We're not inciting violence by any means.
All we're saying
is when you're out there, if you're a fan of this show, consider yourself an arm of the law.
You're deputized.
You're deputized.
And as an arm of the law, it's like Ash Wednesday. And as an arm of the law, we're telling you, when you see
swing that thing,
when you see infractions out in the world, you
can correct them.
You correct them, and
damn, that's some fucking pointed. That we just dance around that. Lawsuit.
Yeah.
We're not saying to do anything. We're just saying if you think
if there ever was
if
a dog,
see something, do something.
See something, say something.
Do
or
something.
If you see something, spin kick something.
That's the shirt.
So basically in the one of the things that has been popularized is the rowboat, which I fucking hate. So a bunch of dudes just sit down which I think we've talked about this before. At what venue have you ever thought, I'm going to sit on the floor?
Yeah.
So you're already a dirtball.
Ooh, I want wet butt all night.
Ooh, did you drop a Coors Light? Let me put my ass in it.
Ooh, did you spit there? Also, did you pee there? Also, is that beer there? Also, is that a cigarette? Ooh.
Ooh, I will sit in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you want to sit at a venue that's psychotic. Right. But no, a bunch of dudes will sit, usually like 4 across and however deep, and they just start rowing. and it's like it's just to post like to be like we might be on TikTok
Yeah, and then
later.
there's a dickhead filming, and it's like
It's not nothing about it's fun. You're just getting in the way. Like no matter what it is, there's always the mosh versus push pit. Whichever one you're fucking doing it, the rowboat's getting in the fucking
do
way.
one of them.
Yeah, so
Somebody's
there's a rowboat at a drain show, and in the video, gay guys back.
No, somebody's getting pizza. I'm gonna go steal.
We're almost done.
I'm gonna
You're
steal
clear-
that guy's car.
Clearly hungry. You didn't have enough hot
He's
dogs this
walking
morning.
really far away from his car. I could totally steal that guy's car right now.
Get his car, dude.
That's-
What is it, a pizza guy?
It's like
Get his car.
The
So
rowboat.
yeah, they're doing a rowboat and it's at a drain show, and the video just starts with, dude, this is why the lead drain, but the lead singer specifically is the fucking MVP.
Yeah.
You just hear him screaming. He goes, "Jump on it! Jump on it! Fucking jump on it!" And you just see all these kids run and fucking like Jeff Hardy swan dive into the fucking rowboat. And I just go, drain fucking rules.
Yeah.
That's the way you deal with that shit. Because
Yeah.
it's just like, it's not even like, it's not even like people being elitist and gatekeepers. It's like, if you're just doing a little fucking rowboat for attention while people are trying to like mosh and shit like that, you're being a fucking pick me dumbass. Like
Yeah.
you're being an asshole. You're being in the fucking way. And Drain handled it 100% perfect way.
yeah, swimmingly for sure.
Swimmingly. I mean, that pairs up well with the boat.
Yeah, that I just it's like any hot dog and any antics like that is kind of like and I've also like we've like bounced clips back and forth of like dickheads that are just like walking along the side of a pit and just kind of going
Any of that shit
like,
sucks ass.
any
Yeah.
of that stuff. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Those people too. That like not saying that you have to beat them up or anything like that. Just teach them a lesson. Push them the
It's
fuck
teasing.
down.
It's I don't want you
You're-
to assault
No,
anyone.
no. It's like one of those things of like show them the correct way to do it. That's because there is a correct way to correct that. That is it's like the self-policing. It's essentially like prisoners killing all the pedophiles.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I mean? Like it's like
Yes.
it's like it's just one of those things of like, yeah, we're all civilized people. We shouldn't be here executing pedophiles all day. We should put them in jail and just let the people that want to kill them kill them.
Yeah. Though it's just like put the pedophiles in the same. No, I
The
think
people in the boats are basically just pedophiles.
yeah. People, if you rowboat,
And we're the Latin kings.
and I'm Chael Sonnen in a car, I'm chasing you in my Jeep, shooting at you with my uncle. Chael Sonnen.
Cain Velasquez.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's way funnier saying Chael Sonnen.
Yeah, I was like, wait, what did he do?
You know what I meant.
I was like, is this news? Like, did I miss something?
Fuck. Cain Velasquez. It was my heart was in the right place. Yeah, no. I
And
think
they
that's
shoot the wrong person.
I think what?
And then he ends up shooting the wrong person.
Yeah.
That's the best part. It's like, that's exactly why you're not supposed to do it that way.
Yeah.
Bring him to jail. Then
But if you happen to hit the guy that's sitting shotgun in the pedophile's car, I'm not gonna get too.
I still feel like he's like, wait, what? What did he say? Why is he chasing him? Why has he got a gun? What's happening? Like, I don't know. There's a little bit of him going like, oh my god, this guy's chasing me with a gun. Oh my, is that Cain Velasquez?
I could see that scenario possibly.
But we
Regardless,
digress.
we digress.
When
Anyway,
when you're in the pit and you're rowing, you essentially come off as somebody who
you're a
who
pedophile.
did something to an MMA fighter.
when you row in the pit,
Yeah.
you're a pedophile.
Without hyperbole, it is as bad as pedophilia.
It is as bad. It's not worse. No.
No,
You know what? I'll stop there. It's not worse. It's right there, though.
It's
oh.
man, they're like neck and neck. Unfortunately,
It was like the fucking bad grandpa bit where he's like you what did he say? Where he's like, don't cross this line. He's like, I'll cross any line. He's like, cross this line then. And he's like, I crossed that line. He's like, you stepped over the line. That was a jackass bit.
yeah. Ha ha! You stepped over the line.
Yeah, that
Yeah, I don't condone violence by any means.
No,
but
I don't
also
want-
don't fucking condone sitting down and acting like you're in a little
Yeah.
fucking
no,
rowboat.
it's the pit
Or
equivalent.
a big rowboat.
It's the pit equivalent of giving him a dead arm. You're not gonna you don't want to kill him, but you give him a little bit of.
Yeah.
Go up to it and be like, oh, this is a cool robot. What are you guys doing over here? You guys being fucking pedophiles doing robo. You got an audio stabilizer on this. We're screaming today.
Nah, nothing happens.
All right, I'll do that in mine, and then we are screaming on this episode.
You guys like that, right?
You guys like when the audio's blown out.
Very little of it has been read. It's fine.
We got a couple minutes. Did you see anything else that you were getting down and dirty in?
No, I kind of just became there's a white hot rage, and I only had one good piece of news and one bad piece of news.
One good, one bad. Yeah, no, I've been enjoying there's a lot of good music coming. Hip hop had a really good week last week. Fucking Freddie Gibbs, Ab Soul, who is definitely traditionally the weaker link of TDE, which would be like J-Rock, Kendrick, and Schoolboy Q. Ab Soul would be traditionally the weaker link. And it's cool because it seems like he realizes he is. Yeah. And he's fed up. So he's coming back and like fucking rapping. Westside Guns put out an EP and an album, and he just put the cover of it was just Psycho Sid from WCW. Nice. That fucking ripped.
Beautiful tribute.
Psycho Sid. Psycho Sid. Westside Gun. Yeah, that was a lot of good rap came out this week.
Yeah.
Oh. Sorry. I just heard the noise. One last thing I wanted to throw out there. Another album I wanted people to check out was this was a fun, interesting random. Oh, also Flying Lotus, which is a hip hop producer. They came out. This was a really interesting one I found called the artist is John Van Dusen, which is a great last name. You know, whenever you do anything to anyone, you just be like, you just got Dusened.
Yeah. Van Dusen.
You just got Van Dusen. He had an album come out with Anthem Sprinter, and I don't know how you are, but I love a good little soft ass album when you want to God damn it. You want to get into your pussy era.
Yeah.
Where you're just like, I kind of want to just feel like a little bitch for the next hour or so. Listen to some soft ass music.
Yeah.
And it had like that upbeat. It almost sounded like Death Cab for Cutie, but a little bit more sped up. It was real fun. It was just a bunch of sad emo shit. It reminds you of like in high school when you're like, oh yeah, I would have let a girl lead me to suicide.
Yeah.
When you were in high school and you could definitely, that was your biggest problem, is that a girl dumped you and you're like, I could kill myself right now. I need an album to remind me of that.
Yeah, I think I think also like you know how like we talk about like bands that don't mature over time, like it doesn't, like you don't stop being sad.
Yeah.
Younger. You know what I mean? Like it's just about like updating what makes you sad now and what fucking, but also if it's the same shit, then like I don't know. That's more of a wake-up call than...
What?
That's a wake-up call if the same shit's still bothering you when you're older, but if you're still in those same relationships...
Oh, yeah. I got to double-check his age. He might just be a young kid.
Oh.
But it's fun.
It's refreshing to be like, wow, man.
Well, it's...
Life is still a fucking mess, isn't it? No matter how fucking...
God damn it, I can still relate to these sad fucking children.
Yeah.
But it is fun, too, when it comes to, like, sad music, where... It's I can get into this stuff because it has a much more broad appeal. It's like the Midwest emo shit I can't get into as much because they'll just be like they'll like the John Van Dusen. The energy is like, I'm sad and that's okay. I just need to like let you know. And the Midwest emo shit is like, I'm the saddest person
and the world is ending.
I'm the saddest person that's ever lived, and I'll let you know. You want to know why?
You.
Cartoons.
Because of you.
Because of you. A girl dumped me. And it's like, cartoons just don't hit the same anymore. You're just like, brother, I get it. I grew up in the suburbs too. Yeah. You get over it.
It's not that hard.
It's not that bad, dude.
It literally is not. It's not hard.
Yeah. It's just like, but I will say this actually. I did have this working theory where I go, because I was joking with Steph where we were talking about it too with like, up here, Pat. Up here. Ooh, 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 ooh. Grabbed your ditty. Well, we talked it before, like both of us having like ADD tendencies where sometimes it's hard to focus. And if you get like a clear task, it's like very satisfying. And I remember I was like, Steph was putting all the shit together at my house. that we just moved into, Steph was like, she's like, thanks for putting like all the furniture together. I go, I honestly kind of like it because it's very direct. It's very straightforward. I listen to a podcast. I feel focused. Yeah. And then I was thinking about that.
And they sat down in a chair and it fell apart. Damn, that's crazy.
And I'm just on my back. I'm like, that's because I put it together wrong, not because I'm fat.
This is incompetence, not not obesity.
This is incompetence, not flatulence. But no, I started listening to the emo, and we do joke. It's like, yeah, it's a bunch of fucking like suburban upper middle class kids that are like, I'm sad all the time. And then I started to realize, I was like, what if all the Midwest emo bands just have undiagnosed autism and ADHD?
Yeah.
And they're like, because the thing about having like undiagnosed ADHD is you're always like, I feel weird and I don't know why. And that's every Midwest emo song is I feel weird and sad and I don't know why. And I go, I think you guys have ADHD.
Yeah, I saw a thing like today for like, or I think it was last night though, for some prescription. They're like, one of the symptoms was, it was something to do with with depression or whatever. I can't remember what it was, but it was like they're like, do you ever just feel like anxious for no reason, or like you feel uneasy for no reason? And you're like, yeah,
every day.
Yeah, that's not depression. That's just Pat.
That's just living, right?
That's just me, man.
You're like, no.
No, you weren't supposed to be doing that.
No, you have a syndrome.
Yeah, this is bad. You should take a lot of pills. Like, all right, well, yeah, it's the same idea. Like, I'm sure there's plenty of stuff that's undiagnosed, but it's also like people are just like, sometimes when you're like, I don't know, sometimes what's it called when you just need to work shit out?
Yeah,
you know, you like singing the song actually helps or something.
Probably,
like that.
Yeah.
It's like it's a type of self-medicating, but it's also like it could be there. Like, how come self-medicating is never considered a treatment? It's because it's big pharma. That's why.
Well, it's that push and pull. Exactly. Big pharma doesn't want us to drink 6 beers every night of the week.
Yeah,
that's big pharma.
That's healthy.
Yeah, they want us to do Percocet, not drink 6.
I bought 12.
Yeah, actually, that's what I'm going to tell my wife. Every time she gives me shit about drinking, I go, I'm not doing Percocets.
You're not going to do your pills.
Yeah, but no, it is also, that is a funny thing too, where it's like there is, you don't want to completely ignore your problems, but there is also, you can get caught in a loop where you just completely overanalyze your shit, and you're like, yeah, I don't know, dude, all of our brains are kind of fucking retarded. You just kind of like, sometimes you just kind of got to go with the flow and just accept you're like little thing. Like, I've been trying to crack the code on reading. I've been trying to learn how to read. No, I just been trying to like figure out like how, like there's a bunch of stuff I want to read, but like I just can't pay attention. And I started to realize there's certain things that I have to like if it's a book that's been out forever, like say I wanted to read like I've been getting into Stephen King, but like, a lot of times, if it's a book that's like a super popular one that like everyone's talking about, like I'm reading The Shining right now. I was catching myself like not paying attention into it because I'm like overthinking all this stuff. Like, am I gonna get everything? Am I gonna catch it? And then I was like, something like that. It would actually benefit me if I watched a bunch and read a bunch of shit about the book before I actually got into the book.
Yeah.
So I could like, I don't know. You're like, and it just goes hand in hand with like, yeah, my brain's kind of like weird in certain things, and it's like, I'm 34. I'm not going to fix it. I'll just fucking lean into it and figure out how to make myself productive.
Yeah, you figure out how it works. So like that's a way too. I mean, it's not like it's not an answer, but it's not the answer, but it's an answer.
It's an answer. Yeah. The other thing that's been, and we'll wrap up after this, but the other thing that's been providing me solace is the fact that like, and I think you're like this, is I realized I'm way better at accepting that the answer to things is either unknown or just shit.
Yeah.
And I realized there's a lot of problems in the world because people don't want to accept that. You're like, yeah, the answer is either, well, it's been with going deep in all the conspiracy shit with No More Heroes, is I started realizing how little people want to accept that there's just no answer for this yet.
Yeah.
And like, you'll actually notice, it feels depressing on its face, but you actually start realizing if you just start, there's certain times where there is no fucking answer for a thing, or the answer is kind of shitty. And not that you should just accept that and not do anything about it, but if you can start at a standpoint of like, there's no answer, or the answer to this is just shit, it's like you can feel more whole and content because you're not like lying to yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. All right. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Like and subscribe. Do all this shit. Bye. Listen to Refused.